As Carmichael continues to dog in, but he will run out of real estate. Your winner, Moto number 1 from Bud Creek, on board the Yamaha, Timmy Ferry. Tim Ferry became the first Yamaha rider to take a checkered flag since he won himself back in July of 2001. Unfortunately for Red Dog and fellow contender Kevin Windham, a first-turn pileup ended any hopes for them and gave Ricky Carmichael his 19th straight national win. After a 2-week break, the series now heads to the hallowed grounds of Red Bud Track and Trail for the 30th running of the Red Bud National. And we welcome you to Buchanan, Michigan. This is round number 6 of the Chevy Trucks AMA U.S. Motocross Championship. And welcome to Buchanan, Michigan for the Scott USA National. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Cameron Steele. And we've got a great day of racing on hand for you today in the 250 class. David, it is hot and humid, and everyone is still chasing Ricky Carmichael.
And he has the advantage, Todd, being from Florida and training in all that heat and humidity. It feels like that out here today, and you can tell by the record number of easy-ups in the spectator areas.
He's got a 53-point lead over second place in Kevin Windham, and Kevin Windham has shown some promise, but right now it has been and remains the Ricky Carmichael show in the 250 class. Carmichael already with 4 victories here at Red Bud as he gets set for Moto number 1. We talked to him earlier, and mission number 1 is winning the title.
I want to go out there and try to get a good start. You know, the track is really wet today. Had a lot of rain yesterday, so it's going to be really important, especially with the 4 strokes. They got an advantage today with it being deep like that. So the start's very important. And just try to win some races and, you know, try to build on my points lead. That's the main thing. As far as the streak goes, hey, if it stays alive, that's great. But if not, we want to try to win the championship.
So Ricky Carmichael all about winning the championship. Timmy Ferry trying to get back on top of the podium, which he has done this year, David. He has the ability. He got a great break in round number 5.
Well, he did, and he was holding Ricky off, no problem at Bud's Creek. Then Ricky went down. Then he had a nice cushion. Then he had something happen to his silencer, which is why the bike sounded funny. That was the scene as the checkered flag fell. Carmichael made up all the time, but Ferry finally got a moto win.
So Timmy Ferry has the momentum there. Moments ago, he caught up with our Cameron Steele.
Well, folks, we're loading the gate for the 250 Moto number 1, and, well, check it out. Red Dog hanging out with me. Last week, Red Dog on fire, Moto number 1. Didn't get a chance at Moto number 2 due to a crash. What was the difference last week in the first Moto, and you feel it carrying on into this?
Oh, for sure. You know, I'm kind of getting back up to speed and in a little better shape, and the starts are coming, and I got a good start that moto, and that made it easy on me to get in front of Ricky. The track was kind of one line, and, you know, anytime he come beside me, I just kind of moved over a little bit, and hopefully I get another start today and have a little better second moto.
A lot of races talk about when you get that first win of the year, or you haven't won in a while, like, kind of lifts you up and makes you feel like, I can do this. Did you get that feeling at all? I mean, do you feel different coming into this event?
Oh, for sure. You know, we had 2 weeks off, or 2 weekends off, and I worked on some speed, a little bit of speed and then some endurance, and came into this race rested and ready to go. So this is my favorite track on the circuit, and looking forward to good results here.
Right on. Well, he's ready to go. Red Dog and Stephane Roncada is about ready to run over my cameraman, so I'll get to send it back up to you guys.
And that is why Cameron Steele is one of the highest paid pit reporters, staying in front of Roncada. That's tough. As we look at the Suzuki starting grid, there is Carmichael and the usual suspects, Kevin Windham, Tim Ferry. Talk about the 4 strokes today, David. Cameron touched on it a little bit, as did Ricky Carmichael. Do you see a big advantage for the 4 strokes?
Well, if they do get off the start, which is really deep plowed right now, and there's a 4-stroke and David Vuillemin, and then LaRocco on a 2-stroke. He rode a 4-stroke last year. We'll see how those guys come off the gate. That should tell us a little something, but I think they have an advantage in all the deep spots, but after the first 2 laps, they usually get pushed a little bit, the lines form, and Ricky Carmichael goes to work.
There is the culprit, 82% humidity, a 90% chance of late showers. Hopefully we'll get our 2 motos in. 87 degrees right now, but we are set to go racing. We are sideways, and we are at Red Bud. Right in the middle of the screen, number 22 on the Yamaha, Chad Reed just hooking up the bike perfectly, and he will pick up the whole shot here in Moto number 1.
unbelievable for a two-stroke to get the whole shot. As deep as that start was plowed, you expect to see a lot more four-strokes up front. LaRocco getting a great start. Maybe the light weight. I don't know what's going on right there, but that definitely was a surprise.
Ricky Carmichael is sitting in 4th place right now, and his nemesis in the Supercross Series, Chad Reed, is your leader. And Reed, David, looks just on fire. Here's what we expected to see through him throughout the year, and it seems like it's taken him 5 or 6 rounds to really get a feel of the motocross track. Here he is today getting the whole shot and going out in Moto number 1.
Looking excellent right now. Already got a little cushion. You see a couple riders back there before you get to Carmichael. That's going to help him pull away. Of course, one of those being Kevin Windham doesn't help that much, but as long as there's a rider between Reed and Windham and Ricky, Reed should be able to break free a little bit. Just hopefully establish some kind of a rhythm before they can get on his tail. And the reason I sound confident they're going to do that is because they've been able to do it so far this season every time. Wyndham's already through. Carmichael follows him. Clark Stiles is like, what did just happen there?
So right now, as we get things started here in Moto number 1, number 22, Chad Reed is your leader. Number 14 on the Honda, Kevin Windham is in 2nd. And number 4, Ricky Carmichael, the defending champ, now sits in 3rd.
Yeah, really getting a lot of air off that big tunnel jump now, moving the landing out a little farther. Great place for the spectators to watch. And although the track is deep, you just saw a little bit of it there. Kevin found some. It looks like it's in great condition. I mean, we've been so lucky with weather so far this in the outdoor season, with muddy tracks on Saturday and perfect tracks for racing on Sunday.
The humidity is high here in Buchanan, Michigan. The temperature is as well. Hydration certainly a key, and Kevin Windham is just firing it up on that 4-stroke. Ricky Carmichael now starting to close in.
And you think that Kevin and Chad would just love for once to have Ricky buried back at about 17th place, just be able to ride up front for a little while without all the nerves and the pressure and the antagonizing 250 sound. He was all over the clutch in the corners. There's no mistake. When Carmichael's behind you, you know it's him.
Ricky Carmichael chooses the same line right now, ironically, as Kevin Windham. Kevin on the big 4-stroke. And Stephane Roncada, Suzuki's hopes for the 250 has gone down and out. It looks like he has suffered a serious injury in his mouth. I hope his teeth are all still there.
Well, he got all mixed up off the start. I couldn't tell who it was, but it looked like right away. Maybe a KTM rider got together, so he didn't even make it to the first turn.
As they come into the corner, Chad Reed goes very wide, and Kevin Windham sees an opening, and he takes it. Can Carmichael get there as well? No. So it's Windham in 1st, Reed in 2nd, and Carmichael in 3rd. And look at Ricky. Here he comes again.
That's a pretty big miscue by Chad Reed to go that wide. He almost let Ricky by as well, set that up.
Everyone getting a tear off, and it is Windham in 1st, Carmichael in 2nd, and Chad Reed. Oh, how his fortunes have changed. He went from 1st to 3rd, David, in a matter of 50 yards.
You know, it's almost like he didn't want to take the inside. He just comes into the outside, know it. You can hear the crowd into it. He had to know those guys were right there. And at this point, he's in no man's land. I don't know what he's doing clear out there. He's probably thinking the same thing, going, I know, David, I was trying to hold it tight, but I came in a little hot. Right here, he knows he needs to dive between those guys, but watch Ricky just forcing Chad out wide. Doesn't make contact, it just lets him know. Like I said, when Carmichael's behind you, you know it.
So Kevin Windham continues to lead, Ricky Carmichael right behind him, and they're starting to put a serious gap on Chad Reed, which surprises me because Chad looks so good and Windham goes down. Kevin Windham gets out into soft stuff, and that front wheel, David, just washes out on him.
Here comes Chad, who's already, that's how much time they had gained on Chad already. Now remember Glen Helen opener when, well, he got it fired up quick. See what happens here. He's aiming for that outside rut. I think he's going to lean into the corner too soon. He doesn't have anything to hold him. Boom, nice soft little fall. The bike should be fine from that, but now Carmichael's got about a 10-second lead, and Kevin's got about
a lifetime back,
seconds, yeah, to make up to catch back up to second on Chad Reed.
So it's Carmichael in 1st, Chad Reed 2nd, Windham in 3rd, and Clark Stiles in 4th. We're back to Redbud in a moment. welcome you back to Red Bud. This is round number 6, Scott USA National. Your leader in moto number 1 is Ricky Carmichael. Chad Reed got the whole shot. Kevin Windham had the lead for a while until he went down, and now it is all Carmichael. As we go back in the pack, this is the battle, David, for 6th place.
See Nick Way, local boy, working on Clark Stiles. Got Larry Ward, looks like, up ahead of them. LaRocco chasing, goes for the triple. Way doesn't. You see the difference there, that you can make up some time, but he couldn't. It wasn't good enough for the pass. Vuillemin back in there. Not the best start for him. He hasn't been getting that great start since Glen Helen when he hole shot it, but getting into the picture here and battling with these guys. You can imagine what the roost must be like for somebody sitting behind 3 or 4 of those 4-strokes.
Nick Way with a nice move there on board his Yamaha. Number 5 is Mike LaRocco on board the Honda. Good to see the Rock up in the front of the pack and charging hard. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael continues to lead. Larry Ward, number 10 on board the Honda, sits in 5th place.
It's a good track for Larry Ward. Came back here and won a 125 National not too long ago. Just to win a National in each decade since I can't remember when. He's so clever. Just when you think, oh, you know, Larry Ward, he's been around so long, I don't know if the guy can really run up front. He runs up front. It used to surprise me a little bit, but not anymore.
47 is Clark Stiles trying to stay with Ward, then LaRocco. 27 is Nick Way. And that's how they round out. Meanwhile, the gap is enormous, David, as they go into that corner there, double wide, the 2 Yamahas. Ricky Carmichael is all but checked out.
Stiles decided not to go for the entire LaRocco's leap. LaRocco comes into the picture pretty quick there. I'm inclined to think he did. It looked like Way had LaRocco down at the bottom of the hill before the leap, and he messed up so bad that he ended up getting passed by Vuillemin, it looked like. So, see how far forward these guys stayed and keep that front end down on these big, powerful 4-strokes. He goes wide right there and gives up another position to LaRocco. So, Mike working his way to the front, but his pace and the lap times are nowhere near where the top 3 are running. So, his best hope here is to try to get up into 4th, maybe catch Lusk.
Here's one more time. Way has his problems. LaRocco gets around him, so it's Ward, Stiles, and LaRocco. There's Clark Stiles, number 47. Mike LaRocco, just a faster line, takes the inside.
Yeah, he just did a little bit better line right there. Stiles knew he was coming, I think. There was nothing much he could do. He couldn't move over on the track right there to block the line because of the ruts. I think it's good the way the track developed. I mean, I don't think it was very much fun yesterday for these guys, but today, even though that one line right there, you come into this corner, you got a couple different lines. Through here, you got lines, and there's lines everywhere.
Look at LaRocco. Picks up yet another spot. Larry Ward has to concede that inside line. LaRocco is just on fire. This guy is moving through the pack. So Larry Ward now drops back to 6th. Mike LaRocco running his number plate in 5th place.
Jumping his own jump.
That's nice. LaRocco leap. You got to come out and launch it.
You can see how much soil they brought into the racetrack here for this whoop section. Makes it great in the corners. It gives you an opportunity to come out and make a pass like LaRocco does here on Ward, who just wasn't aggressive enough coming out of the corner. I can't figure out what was going on there. And even after LaRocco passed him, he just kind of trail rode down into the next corner. So maybe because of the heat and humidity, he's decided, you know what, I'm just going to pace myself today, and I can't run with LaRocco anyway. Try to hold off everybody else.
Well, this is the battle for 7th place. Clark Stiles is number 47. He's got Nick Way right behind him and another Yamaha rider. Looks like it could be David Vuillemin coming into view.
Yeah, this is going to get close. Somewhere along the line, Clark Stiles is going to have some more company because Nick Way, he gets stronger at the end of the race. So does Vuillemin. Ward still has his little gap. And here comes all the 4-strokes to clear the big LaRocco lead. Look how much air these guys get. That's amazing. We could park a couple motorhomes there and jump them.
Sell concessions down there. And look at the rut.
Yeah, wide the line is of Vuillemin, and it's still a pretty good line. So the fact that the track was so wet yesterday and they hauled in all this soil, there's another pass. Riders are talking about, yeah, it's a little bit one line. Well, it might have been in practice, but I think the way it's developing right now, you can go just about anywhere and make passes happen.
Creativity is key here in moto number 1. Nick Way, number 27 on board the Yamaha, gets past number 47 Clark Stiles on the Honda. And David Vuillemin now is also closing in on the Honda rider. This is the battle for 2nd place. Number 22 is Chad Reed. He had the whole shot, relinquished the lead to Carmichael and Windham, and Windham went down on that corner. And look at this. Windham comes back, redeems himself, gets 2nd place. Chad Reed shuffled back to 3rd.
Chad's not thinking right. You know, the move he made to go to third was bad, and that one was even worse.
Of the world's best outdoor athletes.
Oh, what a great run!
23 outdoor events.
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Hi, my name's Tim Ferry, and we're at the Team Yamaha, racing Supercross and Motocross with my wife, Evie. And I want to give you a tour of our home. Come on in, check it out. I've always been on wheels ever since I was a little kid, and I started riding bicycles when I was, younger than all the rest of the kids, and, had a motorcycle when I was 7, and, it's just something I've always enjoyed doing. Welcome to our living room. This is where we like to hang out and relax and watch some TV, kick back. We don't get much time. We're on the road traveling a lot, but this is our dog, Molly. She's our kid for now, and she's about 7 years old. Let me go back here and show you the back porch. Come on. My skills right now are better than they ever have. The main thing right now is I just need to get healthy and be strong and actually stay healthy and stay injury-free. That was the inside of the house. Now here we've got the pool. Gotta have a pool. It's hot in Florida. Got the hot tub. Gets sore when you ride motorcycles, so this is a nice place to hang out, have parties on the off weekends. Our family's up. But what I really want to show you is actually in the garage. Every man likes to hang out where the bikes are. For outdoors, I want to get some wins and be in that title hunt, racing right down to the last race for a championship, if not winning it. All right, now we're in the shop. This is where I like to hang out. I don't like to work on my bikes that much, but here's my Supercross bike right here. It's my outdoor bike, the one I've been testing on. And this one right here is my first YZ60. It's I know it's yellow, but it's still a Yamaha, so it's cool. Got TTR 125, and actually I have another TTR 125 being built into an aluminum frame one. But this is the shop. We have everything we need here, tools, whatever it takes to work on the bike. But upstairs we got the gym. You got to stay in shape. Let's go check out that gym. So I've been a pro for over 10 years now, and I feel like I'm actually 28 and stronger than ever, and looking forward to riding motorcycles my whole life for sure, and till I'm 60 or 70 or as long as I can. All right, this is the gym. This is where I like to get buff. So I come work out. Got my bicycles here. Got a whole weight system. I can pretty much do anything I need to do for racing on that machine. And got 3 bicycles, whichever one I feel like riding. And then got a bed. Sometimes I come out here and actually lay down. I get tired after riding. I'm not going to race professional forever, but I want to do the best I can while I'm here and win some championships these next couple of years, and leave my name in the record books, and then maybe me and my wife will have some kids, and maybe they'll race, and whether it's a boy or girl, girls race now, so that's cool. All right, you see my whole house, my garage, pool, my gym. Watch for me on the 2003 U.S. Motocross Outdoor season. See it.
Thanks a lot, Timmy and Evie, for showing us around. Man, I want to race again so I can make some money and have a house like that. Between he and Mike Brown, I don't even want to go back to my house.
Tim Ferry right now has got other issues to contend with. He's currently sitting in 10th place here in Moto number 1 from Redbud. Not where the Red Dog wants to be, especially after the success he had at round number 5, winning Moto number 1. So Ferry's got his work cut out for him. Get that 4-stroke zipping along. Clark Stiles has moved back to 9th place. He was sitting in 2nd at one point in this race. But the caliber of talent that is out there, David, is unbelievable. Ricky Carmichael continues to lead. Ernesto Fonseca, a teammate of Carmichael, sits in 11th.
This is kind of good for Stiles, though, because when Timmy's able to come by, if he's able to, which it looks like he will, and there he goes, he starts to learn that pace a little bit, and you can see where they let off, some lines they take, and how early they get on the gas in the corners, if there's a little throttle control, or if they just nail it, and all those little things are lessons that you bring with you to the next moto. So even though he got shuffled to the back pretty quick, I'm sure he's learned a few tips along the way.
So it's Ferry 9, Stiles 10th, and Ernesto Fonseca sitting in 11th place right now. It looks like Ernesto's starting to close in on Clark Stiles. But Tim Ferry showing the consistency, David, throughout his career that has really kept him in the sport. Right now, I know he's not in the position he wants to be, but Tim Ferry always comes to play.
Well, you hear everybody talking about how important the start is now. Ricky told us at the top of the show, we're going to need a start. And once again, he gets a start. Tim Ferry doesn't. Timmy might be able to run the pace of Ricky if he were up there, but he's not going to get that chance. So Ricky just seems to always be in the right place where he needs to be. He's got a better game plan, and you know, it's not that he sticks to it. Everybody would like to stick to it, but Ricky's able to stick to it because he's just programmed that way. He just seems like he demands it. If it's anything less than that, he flies off the handle, comes back out of the next moto, and sets it straight again to keep on a roll.
Tim Ferry picks up another spot, so he'll go in 8th position. Nick Way, number 27, fellow Yamaha rider, will inherit 9th place. And Tim Ferry's shown a lot of promise here in the latter part of this moto number 1. Unfortunately, David, I think he's going to run out of real estate, and Ricky Carmichael is just too far in front.
And here's his pass again on Nick Way. Nick just looking for a good line. Ferry going, I don't care how good the line is, as long as it's fast and good enough for the pass. And he's got a lot of practice passing people through the pack. He had to do a lot more work than Ricky had to do. Ricky had a different type of workload. It was get by Chad Reed and Windham, and they both made it easy on him. So he's been able to cruise, which is real important. As hot and humid as it is, he's going to have a lot left for the second moto as he's able to cruise this last lap.
White flag is out. Ricky Carmichael, your leader on the final lap. And I hate to say it, but this looks like a walk in the park for him. He's looking around, making sure no one's near, probably wondering where everyone is.
Well, he's probably looking to see who's going to get second. He's been doing that a lot. You get a big lead, just look around and see who's going to pick up second and go, okay, so let's see. He gets second, he gets third. Okay, so now my points lead is this. That goes through your mind when you're out there.
Ricky Carmichael is on his way to an easy victory here in moto number 1. Little dicey at first. Chad Reed got the whole shot. He had some problems. Kevin Windham took over the lead. Kevin Windham went down as his front tire washed out. And Ricky Carmichael, as we said before, David, right place at the right time. And here he is again, Carmichael, number 4 out of Florida, on board the Honda, riding for Fox, Oakley, and a lot of other good people who put him there. But Ricky Carmichael has the God-given talent to do what he's doing out here, and he has just been dominating.
Yeah. You know, the thing about Ricky is that when you watch him ride, it's not like watching Stewart or Windham. I mean, yeah, he'll even admit, he goes, no, those guys are better than me, you know, but it's desire. His discipline and his commitment to his training program and to his practice routine, whether he feels good or not, he always gets the job done, and obviously with a touch more intensity. So when he comes to the race, he's able to turn up the heat. The other guys make mistakes. They can't handle it. They can't run the pace. And you end up with riders that join him on the podium that are just happy to be on the podium. He's not happy to be on the podium unless he's in first place. That's the difference.
A lot of similarities between Ricky Carmichael and Lance Armstrong. The intensity and the desire to win. Ricky said earlier in RacerX magazine, he has no desire to find out what the feeling is of taking second, third, or even losing. He wants the checkered flag, and that's exactly what he's done here in moto number 1. Redbud, Ricky Carmichael, your winner. As the rest of the field comes through, it's Kevin Windham who will claim second place. Chad Reed, after a great start, will have to settle for third. We will come back to Redbud, regroup, and run moto number 2 in a moment. Jeremy McGrath entered the 1995 Redbud Nationals with 4 victories in 10 motos and was looking to grab his first title ever in 250 motocross. In moto number 1, it looked as though McGrath would run away with the win. But in the closing stages of the moto, number 6, Jeff Emig, would press number 1, Mike LaRocco, for second, and together close on the leader. However, Emig would not be able to force the series champ into a mistake and finish third with all 3 under 2 seconds of one another at the checkers. Mike LaRocco put himself out of the equation at the start of moto number 2 with a hard crash. Emig would hold off McGrath early and then proceed to win the moto. MC held on to second and got the overall. Meanwhile, number 114, Damon Bradshaw, in one of his comeback rides, got 4th overall. While 94 250 World Motocross champ number 111, Greg Albertine, finished a solid 3rd. Well, moments ago at Redbud, it was Ricky Carmichael picking up the victory. He's now standing by with Cameron Steele.
Well, Ricky, a pretty good start for you. I know you like the whole shot better. Would you have foreseen more problems passing Kevin had he not fallen? Because everybody's talking about the track being one line and slot being on the outside.
Well, I mean, considering the conditions, it would have been tough, but Kevin's a good rider. It's tough to get by him anyhow, but you know, with it being one line like that, I just tried to pressure him into a mistake, and that's what happened. It was a good moto. You know, it's hot today, and need to ride a little bit different instead of blitzing and stuff like that. So I was just hanging in there, and that's about it. I'm really happy with the moto. You know, got to get those points.
Is it hard to set up on tires? I know you guys do a lot of tire work. It's like kind of hard at the beginning of the start, and then you jump into the loam, and then it goes back and forth throughout the track as well.
Yeah, it is tough because it's hard packed, but you know, I think you need to get a tire that's going to be good in some areas and try to, instead of trying to find a tire that works good in one area. And the Dunlops are working good. It's really deep out there, and it's good. You know, we're going to go back, do the same thing the second moto, and see what happens.
We'll definitely see what happens. Ricky, a great ride at Moto number 1.
Thanks a lot.
As we take a look at the Honda official results, it is Carmichael picking up the victory, followed by Windham, Reed, Lusk, and Mike LaRocco rounding out your top 5. Larry Ward goes to 6th. David Vuillemin a solid finish in 7th. Ernesto Fonseca 10th, and Clark Stiles goes back to 11th place. Earlier, Cameron caught up with 2nd and 3rd place, Kevin Windham and Chad Reed, respectively.
Well, Chad Reed, a nice way to get the moto started with a hole shot. Did you do something different today to set that up?
No, not really. Just, you know, we're going back to the concrete, and it was the same last year. I struggled on the concrete, and then, you know, we go back to the dirt. So it's a lot of fun. I love this track. It's my favorite one, and, you know, being back in Australia for the last 2 weeks, it's definitely a big, you know, a heat wave here, and it's winter back there, summer here. So humidity got to me a little bit, but, you know, I'm having fun out there. Bike's getting a little better, so it's all about having fun and just trying to get good starts like that.
Well, Kevin, I think it's pretty clear-cut. When you're leading, you're not supposed to fall over. What happened?
Yeah, that's rule number 1. And I've just been having a hard time keeping on 2 wheels. You know, I'm riding really hard. Like I said, time and time again, I want to turn fast times. I want to be the fastest guy. And I'm going for it, you know, and sometimes I fall, you know. And luckily for me, they're just in corners, little stupid things, but I'm going to continue to go fast, no matter what it takes. If that means falling, you know, whatever. I'm not going to be the one that's out there not trying. I did that the last time I was out here. It don't work for me, you know. I'm pushing. Eventually I get it down. You know, years ago, Ricky was crashing, and he just kept riding through it, and now he's where he's at, you know, and that's what I'm shooting for.
So Kevin Windham striving to keep rubber side down. We want to remind you that the Troy event has been tentatively rescheduled for September 6th and 7th, 2003. We'll keep you posted. Well, a great Moto number 1 has gone into the history books as everyone gets set for Moto number 2. We'll take a stroll through the pits, and we do it by way of the Racer X Pit Pass. Set to go. We come back. It's the Suzuki Fast Lap at Moto number 2.
Everybody's riding and training together, and it's such a great sport, and it's good to do it on a Suzuki. The first Suzuki I had was a JR80, and man, ever since I've been hooked to the brand.
Just trying to have fun with it at first, and if you like it that much, just keep working at it, and eventually you'll get up here.
The DRZ line's so awesome.
Just like my bike, you're so fast, so easy to get used to. Such a variety to pick from. The whole family can go and get something they love.
Suzuki definitely has the right dirt bike for you.
Monday.
Well, guys, we're in between motos here, and it's time for the Suzuki Fast Lap. I'm hanging out over here at the AMA merchandise tent. I think everybody here is psyched for Redbud, right? Yeah, they're all having a good time. The one thing you got to know about Redbud is, well, it's been raining and it's really rutty, which means a guy from California like me has a hard time getting through ruts like, oh, yo, deep. But there's also big jumps. The guys are going to be flying. And what does it mean when you come to Redbud? LaRocco's Leap. You guys ready to go riding? Let's go and do it! This is the beginning of the track and the start. Left-hand turn right here is the left. Come in. You're going to have to pick your line. It's a banked right-hand turn. Been raining, kind of soft, slippery corners. Look at this. Pick a line. Ruts are deep. To be sliding, see the track. Guys, I'm moving around. Downhill, tabletop jump. I didn't get it this time, but look at the ruts. You got to pick a line and go. Take the left-hander over double jump, then a right, and you're going to head into the uphill. Off-camber left-hand turn, drop back down into some heavy braking bumps. A right-hand turn, take you back up onto this bank turn and set up for the doubles. First up here is a triple jump, then a right-hand turn, and that's going to take you into the double-double section. Stepping up the hill, left-hand turn, little jump, back down to the right, and then another hard left turn. This is the S section. Then wide open over a baby tabletop, into the ruts, a bank right, and then off left in the uphill, headed for the tabletop step down. From there, you're going to a left-hand turn, lots of different lines here. We'll see how it shapes up. And then a right-hand that's kind of tight. It takes you into the weirdest whoop section. It's uphill, and there's not really any lips, so you kind of skim the first two and try to double-double. That is if you really are on your game. And then a hard right down the hill, and that's going to take you into LaRocco's lead. Cheating a little bit, I'm going to jump in behind Ricky Carmichael. Look how fast he goes. He's running away. LaRocco's lead. Oh, how's the whip? He's just landing as I'm doubling. Scary. After the leap, we're going to make a hard left turn and go into a downhill tabletop and then a high banking ride into the last big jump of the track. Out of this high bank, I'll kind of pull. Look at this guy. Coming on the inside, it's a floaty tabletop to the right. That's Scott Metz, one of the privateers. You can see the track holds up on the jumps, but then you get in here in the turns, the left-hander, it's rutted. And then this is going to be your final right-hand turn. Pick a clean line. Tabletop coming up. Finish line. That's your Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap here at Redbud.
All right, thank you very much. Well done, Cameron Steele, as we are set for Moto number 2 here at the Scott USA National, Buchanan, Michigan, and Redbud. Todd Harris along with David Bailey, Cameron Steele, getting out of his rides. We take a look at Nathan Ramsey, who suffered an injury, David, in practice on that left hand. Makes things a little dicey when the left hand's not working perfectly.
You know, this whole deal's been dicey for Nathan because he just seems to be always on the comeback trail. It's too bad because he's fast enough to go out there and run up front.
Suzuki's starting grid showing the usual suspects taking part in Moto number 2. We remind you, Ricky Carmichael was your winner in Moto number 1, Kevin Windham second, and Chad Reed third. But everything's on the line now for Moto number 2. This is the one that really counts. And David, how do you think this thing's going to play out? The track is rutted. They are set to go racing. Everyone's looking for that big hole shot.
LaRocco tried to jump it, and he got a bad reaction as a result. I would keep an eye on Tim Ferry this time. If he gets a better start, he's fast.
And the worst possible scenario for everyone, number 4, Ricky Carmichael gets the hole shot. And look at this. He already has a lead with Kevin Windham in tow. And number 24, Ernesto Fonseca. Ezra Lusk dives in, so it's Lusk now sits in third.
Now, I was going to say much better start for Fonseca this time. 3 Hondas up front. But he gets shuffled back a couple spots right there. Now, Ricky, see, those guys protect that inside. Lusk going way wide right there. He didn't have anybody breathing down his neck, though. He could afford to go out a little wider.
So Ricky Carmichael out of Havana, Florida, riding for Honda. Fox and Oakley and Dunlop takes the lead. He is your winner of Moto number 1, looking to make a clean sweep and go 1-1 here. Kevin Windham, though, is right behind him. He's on that powerful 4-stroke. That Honda looks very good out here at Redbud. Wyndham's going to have a tough time, though, reeling in the defending champ.
You know, you've gone with some new white gear to try to keep a little bit cooler. Look how fast Kevin went into that corner. He didn't even look like he really planned on making the berm, but he laid it over and got in there anyway. He says, hey, I got to run the pace. If I go down, I go down. I love that attitude. I mean, that's what you have to be willing to do. Lusk, beautiful line up that straightaway, riding the rear wheel. So he's doing all he can to try to stay with those guys, and he's still losing time.
Meanwhile, Kyle Lewis, number 23, on board the Moto XXX ride. Looks like he is dead, cannot get it kicked over. Ricky Carmichael continues to lead. This is the battle for first. Here comes Windham, hard charging on the outside, using all of that 4-stroke. Behind him, it's Yogi, Ezra Lusk in third, and David Vuillemin sits in fourth. But this is a great battle. I know the folks at Honda want to keep both these guys safe, but for the sport of motocross, nothing better than Kevin Windham pushing Ricky Carmichael to the limit.
Well, usually when you have that happen, they run away from third place. And then no matter what, they're going to get a second. That's going to be good for the points title. You're looking at 1 and 2 right here. And I'm surprised. Actually, it looked like Windham had that whole shot, and Ricky just stole it from him in the first corner. That tells you how fast that 250 is, because I've talked to Kevin about his bike. He's like, you know, a 250 stock bike to a work bike is a lot of difference. And he goes, when I first rode a 450 Honda, I thought, they can't make it that much better. And he goes, it is so much better, and Ricky's is better than that.
There's your running order. Back to Redbud in a moment. Welcome back to Buchanan, Michigan, round number 6 for the Scott USA National. We're at Redbud. The man on the right is the one responsible for this fantastic facility, Gene Ritchie, the founder and owner of Redbud, and he has a lot of great memories of some of the best in the business who have come through these parts, including that man, Bob Hanna. But for the Hurricane, it didn't start out all that great when he came to Redbud.
Oh my God, no. My wife threw him out the first time he was here.
Took his rent-a-car there and jumped the jump, and the car had 15 miles on it, and the next thing you know, it couldn't open the doors.
He's trying to explain who he was, and he says, I don't give a hell, damn who you are, get out. So he got actually thrown out the first time he was here.
He was thrown out, and he had to make up with Dad, and the two of them had to come up with some butt-kissing scheme to get Mom to let Bob Hanna back in the race on Sunday. So.
I haven't seen Bob kiss much butt throughout his career, so that would have been a good one.
Unbelievable. Bevo had a great story there. I started out with 15 miles, and then you couldn't open the door.
Yeah, he bent that car in half.
Meanwhile, back to Kurt racing action here in Moto number 2. Your leader continues to be Ricky Carmichael. Kevin Windham sits in second, and the pack is just bundled up. As opposed to Moto number 1, David, where they're all spread out. Everyone seems to be staying together, staying in the top 10. There's Ernesto Fonseca, number 24, the Honda rider, trying to close in on number 22, Yamaha's Chad Reed.
Chad smoking around the inside of that sweeper back up in the field there to put a little gap on himself and Fonseca. Looks like he's riding hard, just not up near the front. And, you know, I wonder what's going on with Chad. People are asking me all the time, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think that with all, he's tasted winning, and the way he won at the end of the Supercross series, I just don't think that he's really that interested in giving it everything he's got to give every second of the way during this outdoor series like he was in Supercross, because the carrot's gone. He can no longer win a title. Here's the look where he got around the inside of Fonseca, where he was getting past the first moto. But I think knowing that the title may be out of reach right now, I think for a guy like Chad, he's just going, just get through the season and get into next year.
Meanwhile, David Vuillemin gets around number 11. That's Kawasaki's Ezra Lusk, who looks so good in the early going, just railing the corners, starting to taper off just a little bit, or is David Vuillemin picking up the pace that much more?
I think, judging from Vuillemin's lap times, he's matching what the Carmichael and Windham are doing out front. He's the fastest rider on the track after those guys. He got around Ezra and starting to pull away now. Just a good run for David. We expect to see him a lot more of him up there like this, but you got to remember when he started the season outdoors, he started late. His fitness wasn't back. He had broken his back, messed up his ankle, and you know, I haven't talked about it that many times, so we haven't seen him that much. But I think now, with that break they had after Bud's Creek coming into this round, his fitness is back where it belongs. His confidence has come along with it, and we'll start seeing him up front more.
Back to the front we go. Ricky Carmichael, your leader, but Kevin Windham on board the Honda is right behind him, whether it's the new white gear or what, looking very good. Here's the pass one more time as we take a look at David Vuillemin on the inside line, getting around Ezra Lusk. That's number 12 on the Yamaha, Lusk number 11 on the Kawasaki. And Ricky Carmichael is out in front, and he has put on some distance, and Kevin Windham may have gone down because he is nowhere in sight now.
All it takes is a little mistake. I don't think Kevin went down. You see him back there. A couple mistakes, and that's what happens when Carmichael's in front of you.
Ricky Carmichael, your leader. Back to Redbud in just a moment. In motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. And welcome back to Redbud. This is the Scott USA National. Todd Harris along with David Bailey and Cameron Steelers. Timmy Ferry trying to close in on number 11. That's Yogi. Ezra Lusk on board the Kawasaki. And it looks like, tries to go for the block pass. David finds himself a bit of a rut and gets the job done.
Something's weird with Ezra right there. I don't understand what he did. I mean, there was no reason for him to get past. He just cruised into that corner, then he cruised around the corner. Now he's charging again. So I don't know if he was just trying to make his mechanic Randy mad or what's going on right there, but here comes LaRocco now.
2 words for you, 4 strokes. Timmy just dropped the throttle and just lost him. Meanwhile, Mike LaRocco, as you pointed out so correctly, is right there, takes the inside line, and Ezra once again. You know, Ezra has the experience. He knows better.
Yeah, you know, it's just, maybe he's tired. Maybe the heat's getting to him or something, but he doesn't seem to be putting up any kind of a fight right now. Look. He'll let off right here. Now, go ahead, Timmy. And then he kind of did the same thing that Chad Reed, you know, I gave him a little bit of a hard time in the first moto for going wide up there at the top, and that's what let LaRocco by. So now this battle continues, and they've just dropped Ezra. And Vuillemin has dropped these guys. I'm really impressed with what Vuillemin's been able to do lap time-wise. He's the fastest rider on the track right now. And heat is usually his problem.
And look at that. Mike LaRocco just bounces right in front of Timmy Ferry, so LaRocco has moved up to 4th, Tim Ferry in 5th. And as David pointed out, the Cobra, David Vuillemin, sits in 3rd behind Windham and Ricky Carmichael.
Now, this is a good fight. Timmy not really doing anything wrong there, but he did get kind of landed into the face of that last jump. Kind of abrupt, but he already knew LaRocco was coming on the inside of him, so he was trying to set up, maybe get back underneath him. As Carmichael does his own version of spectating.
Is this a parade lap or is this a Honda R&D? Because they've got the Hondas out 1 and 2. They got a little testing on the 2-stroke, a little testing on the 4-stroke. And by the way, we'll pick up a checkered flag.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's when you see Ricky on the weekend, you only see about maybe 25% of what he's got. You know, he's just riding around. It's very routine. And about 25% of the weekend, you'll see him get in a hurry. And after that, he goes back into cruise control, goes home, and rides a lot harder than what we see on the weekend. That's why this stuff on Sunday is so easy for him and such a routine.
Nice, easy day for Mr. Gosler. He just takes it all in. No need to write anything on that pit board. Number 4 knows exactly what to do. So Ricky Carmichael puts it on cruise control and just lights up the track here at Redbud, picking up his 5th victory at this historic track. You know, we've run out of superlatives, David. He is just making it look too easy.
You know, the thing about Ricky is the momentum, and, you know, he expects to win, and the guys that are running in 2nd and 3rd almost expect to be 2nd and 3rd. And if they can beat Ricky somehow, they act like they just won the championship. And then Ricky comes back out in the next moto and beats him again and quiets all that back down. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not racing against him, I guess.
Carmichael doing a little rehearsal possibly for the freestyle tour as he brings it through, giving the fans here at Redbud a little taste of what it's like to be number 1 in the world. Ricky Carmichael will be your winner in Moto number 2, picking up the victory in Moto number 1. So it's a clean sweep for the young man from Havana, Florida. Ricky Carmichael, your winner.
Don't forget, this race
93 career AMA wins for Carmichael, and he is still a young man, not even 25 years of age as of yet. As we take a look at the Honda official results, it's Carmichael going 1 and 1. Windham, Vuillemin, Reed, and Mike LaRocco running up the top 5 here in Moto number 2. Then it's Timmy Ferry, Larry Ward, John Dowd, Ernesto Fonseca, and Ezra Lusk rounding out your top 10. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele, who is with Ricky Carmichael, your winner in Moto number 2.
Well, guys, Ricky Carmichael continues to tear everybody apart. Ricky, unbelievable ride. The no-footed can, styling it at the end. Throwing a little freestyle there?
Yeah, I wouldn't call that freestyle, dude. I am terrible at that stuff. But I try to have a little bit of fun and give the fans something they want to see. And, man, I felt awesome today. I tell you what, Kevin was on my tail for over half the moto, and he was making me work for it, but I kept on that pace, and it was questionable for me if he was going to be able to hold that pace, and luckily I spit him off, and the rest was history.
On the track, slippery spot. You got to watch yourself. You're leading the race. You really do have to be careful, don't you?
Ah, definitely. You know, I think this track was 4-stroke heaven. You know, it's really like deep, and those things have so much torque, it just pulls right out of there. And then hard pack, and those things are immaculate on hard pack. But you know, I was able to ride as hard as I could, and keep them guys behind me. Kevin was right beside me on the start, and I had to close the door on him because I really didn't want to eat roots the whole time. And it was awesome.
It was a nice move. I thought. Great job today, Ricky.
Thanks a lot. Definitely, you know, I got to thank Honda, Oakley Fox, my trainer, Eldon Baker, and, you know, everybody that has helped me get here. It's just awesome.
Thanks, Ricky.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron Steele. Congratulations to Ricky Carmichael. As we take a look at the official overall results, it's Carmichael going 1-1. Windham gets the 2-2. And rounding out the top 3 is Chad Reed. So a great weekend for Chad Reed, but a better weekend for Ricky Carmichael.
I don't dare call it struggling, but you haven't been winning. Is this a result of the Supercross season where you were winning and you kept testing all the way through Supercross, where most guys are already testing outdoors? Are you playing a little bit of catch-up on the testing?
Yeah, you know, everybody says that, you know, I'm better at Supercross, and it's half true. It's one of the things that come very natural to me. I've always had a track since I was 9 years old, so outdoors is, you know, a little tougher, and I think not having a bike set up coming into the season. We rode the World Cup, and I rode on the 4-stroke, and it was a completely different bike. So it was one of those things that we're just chasing something. But all the guys at Yamaha, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Scott and Bridgestone, they all been helping me out, and you know, week by week it's getting better.
We'll see you at the next round, Chad.
See that, Cameron. Thanks.
Well done, Chad Reed. As we take a look at the overall standings, it's Ricky Carmichael out in front, 59-point lead over Kevin Windham. Chad Reed sits in third, 70 points back. Moments ago, Cameron Steele caught up with Kevin Windham down on the podium.
Well, Kevin, that's a great ride at 2-2 for second overall. I want to ask you, though, if you hadn't tipped over in the first moto and dinged your pipe and maybe cost yourself a little bit of horsepower there, would it have been a different day?
I don't know. You know, that's one thing I want to start working on. I rode better trying to work up to him than I did whenever I was right there with him. And he just calmed down a little bit. I was getting, like, lock in my arm, you know, from being a little bit dehydrated. And unfortunately, I had to just kind of ride around, you know. I kind of, whenever you get out there and you get a little thing that bothers you, you know, like you can't ride, you know, 100%, you're either going to back it down or you're going to go down. And I had enough of that in the first moto.
Well, we remind you that the Troy event has been tentatively rescheduled for September 6th and 7th. Check your local schedules. And upcoming races, we're in New Berlin, New York on the 19th, Washougal on the 26th, and Minnesota August 16th and 17th. Well, a great weekend of racing here at Redbud. On behalf of my associates, Cameron Steele and the champ, David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from Buchanan, Michigan, and the Scott USA National from Redbud. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So long